When I was in college, my friend and I had a news show on the radio station called Take Our Word For It, where the slogan was, "Where everything is true unless we made it up." It was not a particularly even split between those categories. Continuing in the Take Our Word For It tradition, here are today's headlines. United Airlines clarifies she'll be coming round the mountain about 45 minutes late. Tired of padded bra, Cinderella asks fairy godmother for some bibbity-bobbity boobs. And from our local business desk, Bunyan opens big and tall shop. When local lumberjack Paul Bunyan finally hung up his giant axe and retired last year, he knew he wouldn't be able to sit around and watch timber sports on ESPN2 for long. Instead, he set out to realize a secret dream he'd had for years, opening his own big and tall clothing store. When you're 18 feet tall, you'd be amazed how hard it is to find a good-looking shirt, Bunyan noted. Though Bunyan is still debating whether to call the business Big as Paul's or Big Ass Paul's, the new store is slated to open next month in the abandoned two-story warehouse on Log Hill. Ironically, legend has it that Log Hill was formed years ago when a young Bunyan was on a campout and, well, let's just say he couldn't find an outhouse. The store aims to be your one-stop shop for every imaginable aspect of lumberjack fashion, including flannels, Carhartts, 10-foot-long suspenders, and, well, that's pretty much it. Bunyan also indicated that he hopes to add a special section for big and tall clothes for pets, allowing customers to dress their giant blue ox in a Christmas sweater that's just as dumb-looking as the one your neighbor puts on her chihuahua before she stuffs him into her carry-on luggage. So if you need a giant jacket, a hat the size of a trash can, or a shoe so large an old woman and her kids could live in it, Big As, or Ass, Paul's will be the place for you. Speaking of the old woman in the shoe, looks like she's on TV tonight. Let's check out what else is on, courtesy of our friend Matt Ottinger.
Coming up today on WFRT, that's FRT as in fairy tales for you juveniles in the audience. At 3, it's Montel Williams, Less Famous Siblings. Montel continues his series reuniting celebrities with their siblings that didn't make the big time. Peter Pumpkin Eater's brother, Rod the Rhubarb God, is profiled. Then at 4, we'll have Maury Povich with Who's the Daddy? The Ugly Duckling. The Ugly Duckling learns the results of another of Maury's trademarked paternity tests, finding out once and for all how the hell he was born a baby duck, yet somehow grew up into a swan. Finally at 5, it's everyone's favorite Judge Judy. In the case of Jenkins versus Old Woman, a landlord sues his tenant for failure to pay rent on the shoe she and her many children are leasing. That's all for today, but don't forget to join us tomorrow for Let's Make a Deal, where a contestant named Jack trades his magic beans to Wayne Brady to see what's behind curtain number 2.
Thanks to Matt for helping with that. He's a huge game show buff, and while I don't believe he's been on Let's Make a Deal, he has been on the old Sale of the Century and on Jeopardy, where he not only played against Ken Jennings, but ran a category and had the lead after the Jeopardy round. Not bad. So now we'll take more news for 800. Costco staff nervous as Rapunzel heads towards shampoo aisle. Humpty Dumpty now selling Aflac accident insurance, notes that he's also a customer. And in more local business news, Pied Piper files lawsuit against Orkin. Citing trademark infringement and unfair business practices, exterminator Pat Peters of Pied Piper Pest Protection filed a complaint against the Orkin Company in Hamlin Circuit Court yesterday. Peters' paperwork postulates that Orkin is presently pilfering his patented pied piping procedure and purveying it for a pretty penny. Per Peters, Orkin personnel appeared to be purchasing piccolos and procuring pan flutes for the program. As you probably prognosticated, pundits predict plaintiff Peters' preferred pecuniary punishment is punitive damages. And I will have you know, for the record, I only botched 2 sentences in that on the first try. And we'll wrap up the news this week with the results of our latest online opinion poll. It's Railroad Week, and yesterday we asked, who do you think was the someone in the kitchen with Dinah? Votes are in. Here's what you said. Mick Jagger led the way with 49% of the vote. Charlie Sheen was close behind with 31%. Larry King pulled in 16%. And 4% went with Foghorn Leghorn. Don't miss the chance to vote in today's poll where we ask, what do you think strumming on the old banjo is a euphemism for?